Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some big news coming out from Lebanon to share with you. We're going to be going over lots of reports today regarding this potential war between Israel and Hezbollah in southern Lebanon and also northern Israel. So I have a report today that Lebanese whistleblowers have come forward with some allegations that apparently Hezbollah is using the Beirut airport to store weapons. Now, Beirut is the capital of Lebanon, and apparently they're using the airport, according to these whistleblowers, to store weapons here, okay? They could be storing ballistic missiles, unguided artillery rockets, laser-guided, anti-tank guided missiles, and apparently they're also stating that they're storing a highly explosive and toxic white powder known as RDX. Now, I've never heard of that before. If you guys know any information on what that is, go ahead and share that down below. But yeah, they're saying a highly explosive and toxic white powder known as RDX. So apparently as well, an airport worker is saying that these weapons arrive at the airport on flights from Iran in mysterious large boxes. So apparently there's lots of weird boxes that are coming in right now. I mean, this should not shock or surprise anybody. Obviously, Hezbollah is very close to going to war with Israel, and right now would be the prime time to start loading up and stocking up on as much weaponry as they can get before a war breaks out. And this could be happening. I've got some reports here that are saying that this could happen sometime in the next week, okay? Excuse me. My voice is still not doing too good today, but we're going to try to get through this as best we can. But yeah, I've got so much information to go over here with you guys today. Lots of different updates, but we're going to talk briefly about this this whole Beirut airport situation with weapons that could be stored here. So let me talk about this first. This is on the Times of Israel. Hezbollah using Beirut airport to store Iranian weapons cache. Whistleblowers claim to the Telegraph. Lebanese whistleblowers have come forward with allegations that Hezbollah is using Lebanon's international airport in Beirut to store large quantities of Iranian weapons, the Telegraph reports. According to the report, the Iran-backed terror group is using the Beirut Rafik Hariri, I don't know if I'm saying that right, international airport to store a variety of weapons, including ballistic missiles, unguided artillery rockets, laser-guided anti-tank guided missiles. A highly explosive and toxic powder known as RDX is also being stored at the airport, the whistleblowers say. Speaking to the Telegraph, an airport worker says that the weapons arrive at the airport on flights from Iran in mysterious large boxes. When they started to come through the airport, my friends and I were scared because we knew that there was something strange going on. He says, adding that the situation is extremely serious. I mean, I would think that if you work at an airport and you're used to seeing, you know, what types of stuff comes in, what types of stuff doesn't normally come in, and then all of a sudden you're seeing these huge, you know, boxes coming in that could be having missiles inside of these. Let's say they're very heavy. Maybe they're using forklifts to start lifting these off the trucks. If you kind of see those types of things going on, I would think as well, if you're used to working there, you notice something different, these would be the first people to notice that. So if this claim is true, and these people are accurate on what they're seeing, yeah, definitely, most likely this is weaponry coming in to the country. So it says, according to the whistleblowers, the shipments from Iran increased dramatically since the start of the war in Gaza, leading to fears that the airport could become a military target if war erupted between Israel and Hezbollah. If they keep bringing in these goods, I'm not allowed to check. I really believe I'll die from the explosion or I'll die from Israel bombing the goods, one of the whistleblowers says. It's not just us, it's the ordinary people, the people coming in and out, going on holiday. If the airport is bombed, Lebanon is finished. So these people are obviously very worried, and I just put out a video, I think it was yesterday, we were talking about that the fact that Canada was calling for like 45,000 of their people to leave the country. Also, Kuwait is telling their people to leave immediately. So definitely war is going to be coming very soon, most likely. Hopefully it does not, and I hope cooler heads will prevail here and they'll find a way to peacefully end this conflict, but it does not look like that's going to be the case right now, and I'm sure people are worried, and during yesterday's video, I showed you guys some footage actually from one of the airports over there. I don't know if it was Beirut or where it was at, but one of the airports over there, which I would think is possibly even this airport, was just jam-packed with people trying to leave and get out of there. And if this is happening right now, then yeah, we could be seeing a war here sometime in the next week, maybe even sooner. It could very well happen. And I'm sure both sides are preparing for this right now, okay? Israel's heavily preparing for this, and I'm going to show you lots of information coming out regarding that, and as well as Hezbollah, okay? Hezbollah is prepared to fight this, and we're going to show you right now that that is definitely coming, okay? So right here on X, we've got several things to go over here today. This one's from Mario Nafal. Lebanese religious leader says we will drop 500,000 missiles on Israel. The Lebanese Grand Jafari Mufti Sheikh Ahmad Kabalan. Israel should expect about 500,000 missiles and a destructive capacity that will take it 70 years back. The time of Tel Aviv's victories is over, and counting on the defeat of the resistance is similar to counting on a mirage. Israeli occupation forces, with all its equipment, gear, and reserves, and could not win against fighters facing it with individual weapons for 8 months now in the Gaza Strip, while what awaits them in Lebanon is an arsenal of destruction, fighting, war technology, and terror. I mean, look at that. It is an absolutely frightening message to send to Israel. And I'm sure that's why Israel's been trying for a long time to avoid this war with Hezbollah, but they know it's inevitable. At some point, they're going to get dragged into it, and this fighting is going to begin. And when it does, that's what we've been hearing, that the Hezbollah group has hundreds of thousands of rockets, maybe even 1 million. I've heard as high as 1 million or more. Who knows? They could have several million by now. But we know that they have a massive weapons cache stored in Lebanon. And many times, I believe it's Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General of Hezbollah, has come out and said that they've only used like 10 or 20%, somewhere around there, of their actual weapons cache. That they've got tons of weapons, even new weapons that haven't been unveiled to the public, that they could be using here at some point against Israel. And I'm sure they'll use the heavy ones once this war actually kicks off, okay? They've mainly just been shooting smaller rockets, things like that, drones towards Israel. But if this kicks off, they could use their big guns that are hiding in their weapon storage houses in Lebanon. So right here, next up from War Intel, Israel is deploying major infantry and armored forces along the Lebanese border, says Ynet News. I've reported Ynet News before, and yeah, apparently we're hearing a lot about this too. That Israel started to deploy lots of forces there to the northern side of the border, and this is another big sign that this is coming. Okay. And we've been hearing too that down in Gaza, it's starting to get pretty quiet down there. They're launching some airstrikes and things like that. But, you know, we've been hearing that operations are slowly starting to wrap up down there in Rafah. They claim that they've dismantled like 50% or more of Hamas, supposedly. We can't completely verify that, but I've heard that. You know, things are starting to slowly wrap up down in Gaza, and that's when they're going to start pulling their troops away and start moving them to the northern side of the border, because clearly Hezbollah is a much greater threat than Hamas is right now. So next up, from Vicegrad 24, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower is now off the coast of northern Israel, excuse me, southern Lebanon, after sailing through Suez Canal from the Red Sea over the past 24 hours. There's an increasing number of reports suggesting that a major clash will take place between Israel and Hezbollah this summer. Yeah, lots and lots of reports coming out, just like this one, that this could be going down here very soon, potentially in the next month or so. I've been hearing a lot about this Dwight D. Eisenhower. I know we've had lots of claims. There was even just claims coming out today or yesterday, again, from the Houthis, that they supposedly targeted and struck this ship. But what we're hearing right now, even what was reported from CENTCOM, U.S. Central Command, is that this Dwight D. Eisenhower is supposed to be traveling up near Israel right now, which that's what we're seeing here from this report. And I've heard that it's supposed to be heading back home, too. I think it might be coming back to the U.S. and being replaced by the Theodore Roosevelt. Don't count me on that one, but I believe that's the case here, that it's going to be switched out for the Roosevelt. So, yeah, the Dwight D. Eisenhower currently right now near Israel, okay? So next up, Megatron Ron, new. I don't know how to say this. Yedioth Aronoth Hebrew News. India is arming Israel. India has provided Israel with artillery shells, light weapons, and drones since the beginning of the war between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Indian media also revealed last February for the first time that India had provided Israel with advanced, I don't know how to say this, Hermes? I don't know if it's Hermes 900 drones, which are manufactured in Hyderabad. This is completely against BRICS policies at the moment, confirming once again that India is the weakest point of the organization. It could easily be used by the U.S. to destabilize it. So yeah, obviously India is part of BRICS, okay? This major movement to push away from the U.S. dollar, create a new monetary system. We've been talking a lot about BRICS in the past, and India is part of that, okay? India is the I in BRICS, okay? And what we're getting here from this report is that apparently even India is supplying weapons to Israel right now, okay? And this is going to be huge when it comes to Russia and all these other countries, China, that's clearly against all of this. They've got a major player here that's part of their organization that clearly is trying to support the West here, okay? So next up, U.S. warns Israel's Iron Dome could be overwhelmed by missiles, says Mario Nafal. Since 2006, Hezbollah has expanded its arsenal to 120,000 to 200,000 missiles, including guided ballistic missiles, long-range missiles, and kamikaze drones, which Israel has struggled to counter. A study by Reichman University, found Hezbollah could fire up to 3,000 missiles a day for 3 weeks, aiming to collapse Israel's air defenses, Washington, D.C. analyst Seth G. Jones. It would be a tall order for Israeli air defenses to confront the widespread rocket arsenal coming from the north. So look at that. I've heard this many times, okay? 3,000 missiles a day for 3 weeks. Right now, they've been firing somewhere around 1,000 an entire month is what we'd hear. They'd fire, 50 to 100 a day, something like that, maybe 1,000, 2,000 a month. But imagine 3,000 missiles a day, okay? 3,000 missiles a day. They would not even be able to keep up. Their air defenses would completely collapse. And if Hezbollah has this capability to do so, which clearly, considering these numbers, if these numbers are accurate, what if they're much higher? What if they're in the millions? They could be. Who knows? And if they were to fire so many rockets and missiles daily, it could easily collapse the Iron Dome, and they could be getting pounded heavily. So I'm sure Israel's worried about that right now, and we've seen lots of reports. I'm going to show you a video here in just a minute of a drone that makes it right through the Iron Dome, and the Iron Dome doesn't even shoot it down. So they're clearly not capable of shooting everything down. So this is the video we were just talking about right here from Vicegrad24 breaking. Hezbollah drone attack against a military base in northern Israel. This just came out just today, actually. And we were hearing reports of a military base coming under attack by drones. So this could be the base that's attacked here, but we've got video footage to show you here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick.
הוא יורד פה, הוא יורד לחפ"קים. הוא יורד פה, לא דר נדר. לא דר נדר. האוטו שלי. עוד אחד, לא דר נדר. הוא יורד לחפ"קים.
Sorry guys, isn't that absolutely crazy? Look at this drone coming in right here. There's a drone coming and smashing into some military base. It's weird too because you don't even hear the sound of it when it explodes. Maybe it was further away where you couldn't hear it. But then also there's another one flying up right there. The Iron Dome actually took that one out. So the Iron Dome took down one of them, and the other one just completely came right through and supposedly attacked a military base from what we're seeing. So again, this Iron Dome system is definitely overwhelmed right now, and it cannot protect from all these attacks on the northern side of Israel, and that's what we're seeing. So very, very crazy over here what's happening. So we'll continue on. From Mario Nafal again. Residents of Israel and Lebanon brace for war. The mayor of Kiryat Shimona, which is a city on the northern side of Israel, Avichai Stern. I don't think there is any country in the world that would accept daily fire against its citizens. And sitting here like lambs to slaughter, waiting for the day they will raid us like we saw in the south, that's not acceptable. Everyone understands that the choice is between war now or war later. Fatima Belhas lives a few miles, 7 kilometers from the Israeli border near Jabal el Botem. Where would I go? Others have relatives elsewhere, but how can I impose on someone like that? We have no money. Maybe it was better to die at home with dignity. We have grown up resisting. We won't be driven out of our land like the Palestinians. Tom Perry lives in Kibbutz Malkia, right up against the Lebanese border fence. I think that Secretary General's warning is right. War will be the catastrophe to the area. But unfortunately, it looks like we have no other option. No agreement lasts forever because they want death for us. We are doomed to wars forever unless Israel can eliminate Hezbollah. So they're really pushed to the brink here, okay? Both sides are, obviously, but Israel, when it comes to them right now, they are pushed to the brink where they have no choice but to go after Hezbollah. And this is just going to be really bad down here again because Hezbollah is an extremely strong fighting force. And we just reported yesterday, too, that the Taliban, Kataib Hezbollah, multiple other Iran-backed groups in the Middle East are planning to join in this fight as well and help Hezbollah. So it's not just Hezbollah they're going to be fighting. They're going to be fighting multiple forces here, and this is going to be a really nasty war. We're going to have lots of casualties, lots of innocent people being hurt and harmed and killed here. We could be seeing Israel getting pounded by strikes, and then we could see the same thing in Lebanon as well. Okay, so this could get really bad over here very quickly. Next up here from Vivid, breaking, the IDF is sending a large number of tanks and armored vehicles towards the north. Every source I have in Israel confirms the same assessment. A full-scale war will likely occur this week. Time will tell. Nothing is confirmed just yet. Pray for Israel. So again, another report here coming out that lots of vehicles are moving to the northern side of the country, and they're preparing for war with Hezbollah. So next up here, from IRNA News Agency, Hezbollah drone hits Israeli barracks command center. So we had a command center too, just today, June 23rd, 2024, according to the IRNA News Agency, that a command center in Israeli barracks was hit as well by Hezbollah drones. So again, this is just more proof here that at some point, Israel's going to have no choice but to go to war with Hezbollah. This continues to happen. And right now, what I've been reporting over the last several weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, is that Israel's just getting smashed all across the board, okay? Much worse than it ever was before. And a large reason for this is that their Iron Dome is just not doing its job right now, okay? It's been heavily overwhelmed. We've seen numerous videos where drones will smash into these Iron Dome batteries that help hold up this system, that make this whole thing function. So Israel's Iron Dome system is very weak right now, and they're in a very vulnerable position. Finally, I want to show you this here too. There's actually a video that has come out, and unfortunately I can't show it to you. It's down here because it's got music. But basically in this video, what it shows is some of these pictures that we see here that Secretary General of the Hezbollah group, this is him right here, Hassan Nasrallah, has put out a video that showed the different targets that Hezbollah will be going after. We'll take a look at some of these photos here. But here it says from Suppressed News, Hezbollah video breakdown. Some of the locations highlighted are the Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv, Haifa, Port of Hadera, and Ashdod Port. The coordinates placed by Hezbollah in the video are maritime targets that mapping programs are prohibited from displaying, yet Hezbollah managed to photograph them and acquire their coordinates. So they've basically located targets, put out a video and said, these are all of the targets on our list that we will immediately go after and destroy them with our missiles, rockets, whatever they want to use, drones. They will go after these. And these are major infrastructure to Israel, and if these get targeted, could completely, destroy their country and make it very difficult for them to do things that they need to do, like their ports, for example, the Haifa port. If this gets attacked, it's a major port that brings things into their country, and they've been threatening to destroy that port many, many times. So these are just some of the pictures here from the video, just different locations. This looks like an airport here. This looks like, I don't know what this is, some sort of energy facility or something maybe. And then here's a port here. This is a port. This might be the port of Ashdod, potentially, on the southern side of the country. And then the port, this looks like this could be Haifa. Haifa has a lot of these different docking stations from what I've seen in photos. But definitely they want to target some of these major ports here and make it difficult again for Israel to completely run as a country. And if they destroy all these ports and things like that, how are they going to bring the aid into their country? Okay, it's going to be very difficult for them to do that. So yeah, Hezbollah is just warning they'll completely destroy Israel, and they've said this many times that they will launch tons of missiles at a time, overwhelm the Iron Dome system, and Israel could just get smashed here. So is that going to happen? We don't know. We'll have to see, and time will tell whenever this war actually kicks off. But I wanted to show you all this information here to let you know that this war is potentially coming here very soon, and it looks like we are pushing to the point where there's no backpedaling here. Okay, we're past the point of any potential peace deal here. Okay, this is going to be moving towards war here very soon. So just prepare yourselves. Just be ready for anything, because we never know what can happen here. I've also reported many times that the U.S. says that they'll get involved in this. So if the U.S. gets involved in this, now if you live in the U.S., you're now a target to this war too. So who knows what could happen with that. So make sure you're prepared. Try to get some extra supplies if you can. I recommend getting some extra food, water, just basic necessities, things like that, because we never know what can come from this. I understand this is the other side of the world, but anything can happen. So just prepare yourselves for this. Be ready for it. And that's going to be it for this video. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.